Hello, it's me, the Brace Face Malcolm X, back again with another video. And today we're just going to get right to the point and have a really quick, I would say 6 to 7 months braces update. So today is November the 24th, and I actually got my braces put on October the 27th. So it has been...
Actually, it was April the 27th. I don't know why I had October on the mind.
I'll show you my progress. Also, I'm going to give you a few tips about how I've been able to maintain my braces and some issues that I've had with my braces, and also some other tips and tricks about, just dealing with braces. Okay, so the first issue that I have with my braces is the fact that the brackets always tend to scrape up against my lip up at the top. And as you see here, and they would cause like some slight abrasions. So originally that was actually kind of very irritating. They actually did give me this wax that I could put on the brackets that were causing the most trouble, and it would cause less irritation. Also in the back here, I have a spring here, and at the end of the spring, it connects to the bracket that's in the back, because I got the spring there because I'm missing a tooth right there. I would find that often, at least initially, there would be a little piece of brace out, even after they clipped it, that kind of scraped against my cheek and caused a little bit of, scarring on the inside of my cheek, and that was a little bit irritating. And I found that that was an easy fix. What ended up happening was I was actually chewing some food, and that spring there actually popped off. So because there's that gap in between there where I'm missing that tooth and I haven't had an implant yet, that spring would just pop off, and then I had to go back to essentially get this whole bottom wire replaced and get a new spring put in there. So with that, it was actually pretty simple fix. What I ended up doing was when they put it in the bottom one, they always ask you to go like this. Move your mouth around, move your tongue around, and make sure that nothing is poking you or anything. The first time I did it, I was just doing it kind of quick, and it didn't feel like anything was poking me. But even if there's something small, after you move your mouth, because you're going to move your mouth thousands of times throughout the days and weeks and months, possibly even millions of times. So over time, even if it's just something small, you're going to start to feel that little wire sticking out. So the best thing that I can say is just do your due diligence when the orthodontist is in there, or orthodontist assistant is in there, and they're putting on your braces and they ask you to feel around. Just take a little bit of extra time to feel around really well and make sure that nothing is sticking out. And if something is sticking out, just go ahead and speak up and be out like, okay, there is a little bit of something sticking out there, and they can either bend the wire to where it's not going up against your chin, or they can just snip it down really low and maybe even grind it off with like a grinder or something, or whatever they want to do to just make sure that you're not getting that irritation. So even if you feel something small, you may feel it and be like, okay, that's not a big deal. It's just like a little bit of something, doesn't feel that bad. But yeah, it will become a big deal after time, because usually for me, there's usually like 4 to 6 weeks in between appointments. And in between those 4 to 6 weeks, if there's something sticking out, it can really start to cause some irritation after a while. Now, the second thing that I found that was somewhat irritating was that my gums were starting to inflame. And as you see, they're still a little inflamed. Oh yeah, and I have a little color sore sticking out there. Yeah. So I was having this issue where my gums were super inflamed, and especially this middle part here, it was getting really big. So what I did was I looked up on YouTube and I asked the orthodontist like what I could do to essentially get that down, and they said mostly it had to do with just your hygiene, because when you get your braces, a lot of the surface area of your teeth is going to be covered by glue and by the wire. And when you chew your food and you eat food, what's going to happen is a lot of food is going to get stuck in between those spaces and stuck in there, and it's going to cause bacteria to build. That bacteria is going to cause inflammation of the gums, and if you allow that to go on too long, what will happen is you may have to get your gums repaired via like a laser treatment. It could be really expensive. So I would say the most inexpensive way to solve that is to end that when it starts to begin. And I found that the best way to do it was using a water pick. I use this water pick. It's kind of dirty because I use it like literally every day. And you know, it just has water there. And you can get these off Amazon. And I just spray out my teeth. And also I got some of these. And I use these every day as well. So these are just little toothpicks here. See these little toothpicks? You can actually get these at the Dollar Tree. You can get these at Kroger's. You can get these at Walmart. But I choose to get mine from the Dollar Tree. Actually, I think this pack came from Kroger's, but they're significantly less expensive at the Dollar Tree. And I used the Dollar Tree ones and actually ran out of those recently. So I'm back to using the expensive Kroger ones because that's all I have left in my house. And this one is the first and last pack I get from Kroger's when I can obviously get them from the Dollar Tree from $1 instead of paying like $8 or $9 for them. But what you do is, you want to make sure that you clean around your gums adequately. And I know this is kind of gross because I'm going to be all up in the camera in my mouth. But what I do is, after I'm done brushing my teeth and after I spray out my mouth, I go in to each spot and do as much as I can with this. And as you see, I'm just cleaning stuff out. Also, you see how this gum is a little bit inflamed? What I do is I go around it like this. And I just make sure. And sometimes I can get a little a hug out of there. And what you want is you want the toothpick like this that are really soft, and they have this part. And also I'll go in between like this. Make sure I clean in between each bracket and clean it really good. And the thing I found is, even though this causes a little bit of bleeding and is kind of uncomfortable, it will clean your gums properly, and cleaning your gums properly that way will make your life so much easier. So as you see, my gums are a little bit inflamed, just a tiny bit, but I can show pictures where they were much worse. So doing this and staying diligent and doing it every day, even if it is somewhat, I would say at least do it once a day, even if it is somewhat kind of annoying, and even if it does make your gums bleed a little bit, it is worth it in the long run for healthy gum health. And as you can see, I'll put a picture of when they were more inflamed if I have one. You know, my gums are looking a lot better, and this portion is starting to recede back to where it was initially, where it's not so bad. Alright, so yeah, definitely get you a good toothbrush. This one's all worn out and stuff because I use it a lot. And just make sure you go around the gums. Get you your water pick. Spray out the teeth. And then get you your little gummy things. And make sure you go in between your teeth. And just clean them out really good. And that will usually, by doing those steps, and you can also add a mouthwash, will keep your gums pretty healthy and keep the inflammation down to a minimum. Also, I would say the last tip or trick that I have just in regards to this is just try not to eat a lot of candy and stuff either, or just a lot of sodas. Because even though it's very hard, because everything, especially if you live in America, has sugar in it, high fructose corn syrup, our food is highly addictive. You're gonna find that it's much easier to actually clean your teeth than it would be to actually stay away from the food that will damage your teeth. But if you could try to just do your due diligence, just try to drink as much water as possible and supplement water instead of soda or coffee or energy drinks, anything with sugar. Or if you just make sure that you have a toothbrush handy and that you're just using proper hygiene, even if you're at work or at school, even if it's just like a little pocket toothbrush you can put in and just brush some stuff out, it's going to make a massive difference, and it'll save you for having a laser gum treatment in the future. Now, some people, they may have to have that laser gum treatment even if they do have the proper hygiene, just because of the way their teeth are reacting to the braces, but doing that would definitely save you some time. Also, shout out to White, Greer, and Maggard. They're the people who do my braces, and you know, they've done a great job so far. So that's that. Oh, and just regards to the movement of my teeth, as you can see, they are starting to come in straight. The bottom is coming in pretty straight, and they are almost corrected to the point where I want them to be, even though it's almost only been 6 months. As you can see, I still have a big gap in the middle, but I can show you from videos and pictures that gap was originally significantly worse. If you take a look right here, you can see how the gap was much bigger, and my teeth were off center, where one was hanging down significantly lower than the other one. So they were spaced apart and they weren't on an even level. They were just social distancing. But now, as you can see, after a little bit of time, they're starting to come together, and they're almost at the exact same level. Now, when I was younger, I did break my tooth, this one, so half of this tooth is actually fake. So I don't think that they'll ever be perfect to where they're perfectly lined up. But right now, they're as close as they've ever been. Even when I use the Smile Direct Club and I used them before I stopped using my retainers and stuff, and they spaced back out again, they were never, even when I was on like the last tray, at a level where they were just perfectly aligned. One was always down farther than the other. But I found that these braces, the way that they're set, have actually resolved that problem in a much more effective way than the Smile Direct Club braces have. So I think, honestly, for me, the metal braces are just a better option. Also, they force me to wear them so that I don't have to wear, so that I'm not always tempted to take them off. And the only thing decent about coronavirus is the fact that I will get to wear a mask all day, so no one actually sees my braces. So if you are someone who's insecure about it, this would be the perfect time to go ahead and do it. Get your teeth corrected, and then once this mask mandate ends, the mask mandate is already ended, but once your company or your school stops requiring you to wear the mask, then you can just, you know, release your new smile, and it'll be like no one would even know you had braces, or even if they did, it's not like people really saw them that much. So, you know, that's just what I think about it. That's my update. As you can see, my teeth are looking a lot better, and that's that.